you don't have to do any thinking. Everything lines up as long as you write it. Let's do another one. 16 pints equals how many gallons? 16 pints, pints on the bottom, gallons on the top. Now, I told you, sometimes I use these, but most of the time I use what's on my formula sheet. So if I come down here, I search and I search and I search. You bring it up. Do we see gallons and pints? Right here. What number am I going to put on the top? 1, because that's your gallon. And I'm going to put 8 on the bottom because that's your pint. I'm going to finish drawing my line. Am I going to multiply or divide? I'm going to divide this time because 16's on the top and 8's on the bottom. So 16 divided by 8 is going to give me 2. What are the units on my answer? Gallons, because my pints disappeared. Yes?
Question. On the gallons and pints, how would I know which goes on the top and bottom?
Okay, whatever units you are given in the problem, those have to go on the bottom because you want them to cancel.
Okay.
So you always make sure that whatever you were given, I was given 16 pints, so whatever those units are, you put them on the bottom.
Okay, gotcha.
And whatever's on the what you're trying to find, those are the units that go on the top.
Gotcha.
And how do you know between division and multiplication?
Okay, let me go back to the previous page. Maybe not that previous page. Yeah, it is. Okay, when you fill in your numbers, see how the 2 and the 3 are both upstairs?
Yeah.
That tells me I'm multiplying. Here, see how the 15 and the 3, one's upstairs and one's downstairs? That tells me I'm dividing. So if they're both upstairs, you're multiplying. If one's upstairs and one's downstairs, you're dividing. And notice, Terry, we started with feet. So feet and feet cancel.
Okay.
And we're left with yards. Up here, we started with yards. So yards and yards canceled, and we're left with feet. All right, let's look at one that's a little bit harder. Oops. No, not that. I think I can copy just this little part right here. All right. So, we have 2 3/4 quarts of coffee, and it says how many cups is that? That's my problem. So, I'm going to start off by doing 2 3/4 quarts times a little something something. What word goes in the bottom?
Let me see.
Quarts.
Pint.
Whatever word this is, that's the word that's going to go in the bottom. And whatever goes on top is what we're trying to find.
I see.
Okay? So then we come over here, and what we're looking for is we're looking for a cup quart conversion. Cup quart. No. Cup quart. Cup quart, cup quart, cup quart, cup quart, cup quart, cup quart, cup quart. No. 95% of the time, you will find your conversion.
Right.
But there's once or twice out there that you're not going to find your conversion. So, here's what you got to do. It's like you want to meet this person, but you don't know them, so you got to find somebody that knows them so that you can meet them. So Court wants to know cups, but Court doesn't know cups. Court knows, let's see, Court knows,
Pints.
what do we know of cups and quarts?
Pint.
So cups knows pints, and pints knows quarts, so we can work through pint to get to quart.
Oh, gosh.
So here's what we gotta do. We gotta go through pint, we gotta turn quarts into pints, then we have to turn those pints.
Yeah, back in the quarters. No, no.
So watch what happens. My quarts disappear and turns into pints, which is not what I want. My pints disappear and turn into cups. So I had to do two something-somethings because I had to use a middleman that connected the two. And cups knew pints and pints knew quarts, so I used pints to get me to the two that I needed. Okay, so there's two something-somethings I got going on. I have this one going on, which means one is going to be next to the pint. Nope, that doesn't go there, Jen. That one goes here. One is next to the pint and two is next to the cup. And one is next to the quart and two is next to the pint. So I had to use two different something-somethings. I draw my line. Is this a multiplication or a division problem? This is a multiplication problem because all my numbers are upstairs. So I go to my calculator, making sure that I wrap up my mixed number, whole number plus fraction wrapped up, times 2 times 2. So 2 3/4 cups is the same thing as 11. Now, quarts cancels with quarts because one's on the top and one's on the bottom. Pints cancels with pints because one's on the top and one's on the bottom. So cups is my final unit, which is what I wanted. So this is a double sum. And we only have to do that if we can't find the two words written in a single sentence. So I go on this page. No, let's do this one first. All right. If a ladder is 9 feet 2 inches tall, how many inches tall is it together? So we have 9 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 feet and 2 inches. I want that answer to be in nothing but inches. Blank inches. So this first is a foot. We don't want it in a foot, we want it in inches. How many inches are in a foot? 12 inches. This next one is a foot, which is how many inches? And this is a foot, which is, and this one is a foot, which is, so if we have 9 feet, we're going to do times 12. So 12 times 9 is 108. But we have to add what else to it?
2 inches.
Those 2 baby inches. Cool? So we're just turning everything into little baby inches. 12 inches plus 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 the 2 baby inches that I have left over. Now, let me go the other way before I do this next one because I have people that don't like the next one. All right, let me tell you, what if I told you that my husband was 5 feet 14 inches tall? What's crazy about that?
Because he's at 14
That
can't be.
12, I mean, that 14.
It's 12 can't go.
That 14 can't be. Why can't that 14 can't be?
It's beyond the foot.
It's beyond a foot. So it's kind of like an improper measurement. I went over a foot.
Because it's 16.
So if we take away 12 inches, we call that a foot. So we take away 12 of his baby inches and we call it a foot. So how tall is he?
6 foot.
6 foot,
2
2 inches.
inches.
You with me? So if you're over 12 inches, it's illegally mathematically, because you can't be over 12 inches mathematically. Because everything's under 12 inches, because anything that's over 12 inches up here, anything that's over 12 inches, we call it a foot. So we had to take away those 12 inches and call it a foot to mathematically make it correct. Okay? That's what we're doing in this next problem. It says we have 2 dressers that we're putting together. The first dresser is 2 feet, 11 inches long. The next dresser is 5 feet, 6 inches wide. How wide are they together? So most people will do exactly what you're supposed to do. And you'll come tell me that it's 7 feet, 17 inches wide. And I'm going to be like, mathematically illegal. So we have to take away 12 inches and call it a foot. It's kind of like fixing an improper fraction. So it's going to be 8 feet, 5 inches. Now, if I did that and this number was still over 12, I'd do it again. We good? All right. This one right here gets a lot of people. It says you have a rectangle that is 48 inches by 36 inches. And we want to know the area of the rectangle. What's the formula for the area of a rectangle? Area. Length times width. So, we know the length, we know the width, but here's the problem. They want it in terms of feet. So they want blank feet times blank feet. So, before I can get the area, I gotta make these feet and plug it in and get the answer. So, this is what we did in the beginning of the module, combined with what we're doing at the end of the module. So what I've got to do is I've got to turn the inches into feet before I can find the area. So, if I come over here, I need to turn that into feet. And I need to turn this into feet. So, 36 inches times 48 inches times. What units go on the bottom? What word goes on the bottom? Inches. What word goes on the top? Feet. Inches on the bottom, feet on the top, because we want our inches to cancel and be left with feet. Y'all with me? What 2 words are we trying to find in the same sentence?
Area.
What 2 words on my something? We're trying to find inches and feet, right? So if I go to my formula sheet, I am trying to find inches and feet in the same sentence. Right there. I'll put it right there. So I'm going to put 1 next to the foot, 12 next to the inch. Draw my line. Am I going to multiply those 2 numbers or divide those 2 numbers? Divide. So 48 divided by 12 is 4. 36 divided by 12 is 3. What are the units for both of those going to be? Inches or feet? Feet, because those cancel and leaves me with feet. Those cancel and leaves me with feet. Now, I'm not done yet. I just realized that a 48 inch by 36 inch square, or rectangle, is really 4 feet by 3 feet. Now, they want me to find the area. So what is 4 feet by 3 feet? 12 feet squared. So 4 feet by 3 feet is 12 feet squared. I know, I just killed you on that one, didn't I?
What, 4, would be 4 times the 3?
4 times the 3 is 12, and because it's area, your units are squared. because this area, your units are squared. Let me call real quick. Tamika,
Here.
Maria,
Here.
Miss Best, Tay Brown,
Here.
Miss Cheney. Here. Ahmed,
Here.
Jay Elliott, Tyrell, Ken, Bobby, Dominique.
Here.
Emily,
Here.
Terry, Michael Johnson, Lucky, Michael Mack,
Here.
Sydney, Tatiana, LaKendra, here, Mariah,
Here.
Colonel,
Here.
DeAndre, Mark,
Here.
Randy, Latoya, Dev, Dre, Sherelle, Kia. All right, this is where I'm gonna stop. We will pick up, y'all, we only have 7 pages left of this measurement section. So we will probably finish up measurement next time. And for those of you who came in late, look, April 1st, 2 weeks from today, is when you can start registering for summer and or fall classes. 2 weeks from Wednesday is when you're having your next scheduled assessment. Scheduled assessment number 3, 75% or higher. All right. I will see you downstairs. Terry, will you switch my camera, please? And unplug it too.